But there were some circumstances that played into that. Multiple head coaches, multiple offensive coordinators, all those things played into it. But I think when you look at the job that Kevin Stefanski, the head coach of the Cleveland Browns, have done with that with Baker Mayfield and playing to his strength, I think he's done a fantastic job. Baker Mayfield has bought all the way in, and he's playing some really good football right now. And I agree. Listen, I think if you're the Cleveland Browns, you have to exercise that fifth-year option. I think Baker Mayfield has shown you now that, hey, he's the type of guy that can lead our franchise into the future, because I think that he plays in an offense that not everything is put on his shoulders. So I think Baker Mayfield is going to be the long-term solution for the Cleveland Browns.
Shay, how you feel? D. Hopkins is not a bad guy.
No, I feel
Baker Mayfield is the quarterback.
Don't put words in my mouth.
I love it.
See, I'm not trying to get into the middle of a, husband and wife squabble. That's not what I want to do, especially on Christmas Eve.
I didn't know you, Damien.
Damien didn't know he signed up for this.
I know, poor guy. All right, last one here, D-Wood, before we let you go. It's been a minute now since we've seen the Steelers, and the last time we saw them, it was in a loss to the Bengals, 3 straight, in fact. And so there's been a lot of talk about Big Ben. Realistically, do we see Big Ben going far in the playoffs or winning another Super Bowl with the Steelers?
I don't see it. And I think the Pittsburgh Steelers have a recipe for disaster in the postseason. Big Ben, when I look at him, he's on the back nine of his career. There's no question about it. His play is deteriorating. You shouldn't ask Big Ben to throw the ball 35, 40 plus times a game. That's not what he should be doing. Right now in his career, he should be leaning on the defense and a physical run. Pittsburgh Steelers can't impose their will on anyone. They're getting beat up at the line of scrimmage. And that's hurting the Pittsburgh Steelers, particularly on offense. Forget all the weapons that they have on the outside. If you can't impose your will at this time of year, you're not going to go far. And I think it might be an early exit for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah, unfortunately, we agree with you. All right, Damien Woody, ESPN NFL analyst. You can get more from Damien this morning on Get Up at 8 a.m. on ESPN. Damien, Merry Christmas to you. Thank you for being with us. We'll catch up with you soon.
Merry Christmas to you guys as well.
See you later. 4 Downs, brought to you by Geico. Whether you rent or own, Geico makes it easy to bundle home and car insurance. Go to geico.com today. Jordan, how much do you love Christmas movies?
I love them. I love Christmas movies.
Love.
Big Christmas movie guy here. Big Christmas onesie guy over here. Just a big guy in general.
Can I just say this isn't even a onesie? Like, it's a top and pants. It's like Christmas pajamas.
You didn't have to tell everybody. It looks very clearly like a onesie.
All right. Okay. We're going to name.
There's no breathing room in this thing.
Thank you. This is a good visual for those that can't see, I'm sure, at home. Favorite Christmas movies. This can get controversial. Some aren't really Christmas movies. Some you think are, and they're not. We'll discuss that next. Keyshawn, J. Will, Zubit. Premium gasoline, and that is where ESPN NFL analyst Damien Woody joins us. Good morning to you, Damien. Thank you for getting up early on Christmas Eve. I know you probably can't see us, but we look very embarrassing, so we're happy that maybe someone of your stature could bring us a little bit of credibility this morning, okay? So good morning to you, Damien.
I'm sure you guys are fine. Good morning and Merry Christmas Eve to you guys.
Thank you very much. So we talked earlier to our Patriots reporter, Mike Reese, and it's kind of this contentious situation about what's going to happen with the quarterback position, and Bill Belichick refuses to answer. And so I ask you, why do you think Bill Belichick is so hostile about who he's going to start at quarterback? It's not like they're playing to get into the playoffs or seeding or anything like that. Why not just say it's Cam?
Well, listen, I've been a part of that Patriots organization for 4 years with Bill Belichick, and that's how he always rolls. He doesn't show his hand, regardless of the Patriots are making the playoffs, out of the playoffs. That's just who he is. He's the type of guy that's going to give as little as information as possible, whether it be to discourage the Buffalo Bills in their preparation, or just to screw with the media. That's just the way Bill Belichick operates.
Damien, I'm looking for clarity from a guy like you with your resume. It speaks for itself, and you can provide a little bit more insight on this one. So DeAndre Hopkins, the best receiver in the NFL. You can make arguments for others, but I'm going to say he's the best right now. The practice habits have come to light that he's missing a lot of practice. He doesn't think it's a big deal. You shared the locker room with a lot of stars, maybe some guys who didn't have a penchant for practicing. How do you assess this, what's becoming a story with DeAndre Hopkins?
This is a nothing burger right here. Everyone knows in the NFL is a meritocracy. So, everyone is not treated equally in the locker room. You ask any NFL player, past, present, what's the situation in the locker room? Every locker room has this, where guys, especially this time of year, don't really practice it much. It's more about maintenance. Remember, this NFL is a battle of attrition. You're just trying to get through the season, and when you're talking about the best wide receiver in the National Football League, and DeAndre Hopkins, I don't need him to practice. I just need him to show up and do what he do on game day. So this is a nothing story to me.
Yes.
See,
finally,
Damien.
Somebody talking real out here. Damien, you should hear how my wife is dragging D-Hop out here.
I did not drag. I just
Drug.
simply said.
Don't do that. Don't drag D-Hop like that.
Look, I would love D-Hop on my team. I'm a Bears fan. I am not saying he is a bad player for missing practice.
You don't want to play for you.
I'm just saying I'd like him to act like, he wants to be there once in a while. Is that asking too much? We're joined right now by Damien Woody. He's our ESPN NFL analyst. Okay, kind of in that same vein of bothersome would be Juju Smith-Schuster being told that now he's going to stop dancing. And I think he handled this perfectly, the way he told the media. I didn't have a problem with him dancing on the logos. I know a lot of people did, but he wants to make it not about himself. What did you make of Juju Smith-Schuster saying he's no longer going to do his TikTok dances pregame, which he's done all year long?
Well, it's unfortunate because Juju brings such a great spirit to the game. He's a fun-loving guy, and I didn't have a problem with him doing it either. It's not like players just go in, playing in the middle of the game. Oh, Juju was dancing pregame on the logo. I'm just going to play that much harder. It doesn't work that way. Once the game starts, you're not thinking about any type of bulletin board material or whatever a guy does in pregame. You're just trying to win a football game. But I think what differentiates this situation, and I agree with Juju, is whenever other guys on the team have to start talking about your actions, the head coach has to start talking about your actions, then it officially becomes a distraction. So I think Juju was right in that sense that, it's becoming too much. Let me tone it back and just focus on what's really important, and that's winning football games.
I love having Damien on because he's become like the judge and jury between our debates here.
Arguments,
and he's going to settle another one here for us before we let Damien go. So, Damien, in the last few days, me and Shay, my wife here, have been going back and forth, Damien, on if Baker Mayfield is the guy in Cleveland and if he's done enough to go ahead and pay that man when the season's over, assuming he keeps on playing like this for this season. I believe he's shown enough where you don't mess around. Go pay Baker Mayfield in Cleveland. My wife says I'm crazy. As you assess it today, how do you feel?